Welcome back to the Relationship School podcast.
Yes, I'm Ellen's husband.
You are. Jason Gaddis.
Yeah, Ellen Bader, thanks for being with us today.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about, what are we talking about? The most important question to determine if you're compatible or not.
Yes, compatible as a couple. Because a lot of people are wondering, well, maybe we're just incompatible, or are we compatible?
Yeah, and people start this conversation with, she's kind of emotional, and so I don't know if we're going to be compatible because that's kind of a lot to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Or, he doesn't like hiking and, sports, and I don't know, like
Yeah.
she doesn't like sports. She doesn't want to go to the game with me.
Right.
And people just kind of narrowly think about compatibility, kind of like that, it seems like.
Right. You're really social and I'm not, or
Yeah, I'm introverted, you're
like
extroverted.
we're different. So how do we know what differences are workable, what aren't?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we think a better way to approach this conversation, if you're wondering if your person is the right fit for you. Yeah. What's
is
that question?
to ask, do we want the same kind of relationship?
Yeah. Now, why, Ellen, is that so? Why is that different? Why is that so essential?
It's essential because for several reasons. I think we see there are a lot of ways to be a partnership. There's a lot of different, unique. Every relationship has its own flavor.
Yeah.
And we've seen so many variations of partners, and it's really not based on how much you have in common.
Although that
can be
for
nice
sure.
to have a lot in common, great.
Yeah.
But longevity has a lot to do with, do we even want the same kind of relationship?
Yeah. And what does that mean?
Yeah, do we want to, like, what's the way we see ourselves being in each other's lives? Like, who are we to each other? What is our role in each other's lives?
Yeah. In other words, am I getting married to you because I sort of have this, naive story that my life's just going to be better because I'm married to you. Instead of going, wait, do we actually what does marriage even mean?
What does marriage mean?
And what is this really, how are we going to operate inside of this marriage? Like what are your preferences about how we do this relationship?
Right.
And what are mine?
Right.
I kind of want to just hang out on the weekends, sleep in, have sex, and not have a lot of drama.
Okay.
Let's say.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, actually there's so much more to a partnership than that. I want to grow. I want to
Right.
go to the moon with you. I want to travel the world with you. I want to,
Right. Yeah. Sometimes you're kind of describing a couple where maybe one person sees the relationship as a vehicle for personal growth, personal and spiritual growth.
Mm-hmm.
And the other person is like, I just want this to be easy and fun. So that's like a really
that's a mismatch.
Simplified example of what we're talking about, of people who want different kinds of relationships. There's some people who just want to, let's just smooth things out. Let's avoid things that are hard. Let's just coexist in a superficial kind of way that's not really activating or something.
Well, not energizing in a way that's inspiring, right, to both of us. And I think it seems like if I get into so many couples we've worked with over the years get into relationships not getting that it's going to get hard, and there's no plan to work through the hard stuff.
Right.
There's no tools. There's no view. And there's sort of this naive understanding that the problems shouldn't be happening between us.
Right.
And so if I want just the weekend kind of relationship that just feels good, that's fun, I'm going to be up shit creek because that's what I want, and all of a sudden we're in a new territory and I don't want it. So I'm not going to want to be with you.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. It's going to, like, as soon as something gets challenging here, you're going to think, oh, this relationship's done. I'm out. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because I want more ease. Mm-hmm. I don't want suffering in here.
Right. You just want to be happy.
I just want to be happy.
And your idea of getting married was like, we're just going to be happy now.
We're just going to be happy, guys.
That's And the challenge with that, I mean, there's so many challenges about that, but like if you think of a lifetime or decades of being together, like life is going to be challenging.
Mm-hmm.
Life is going to bring a lot of stress in some form. You're going to be really challenged as individuals, as a couple. And there's no way to just preserve ease and happiness all the time. And if you don't have a view of, wow, we're here, like one idea is like, we're here to help each other grow and face the challenges of life and be each other's emotional support.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you have something to lean on, something that's framing you as you meet life challenges, as someone goes through a depression, as someone loses a job or loses a parent or has a big career challenge or change. Like life is going to come at you. And if you don't know your role and what you are for each other, what you're doing there together, a lot of people just make a lot of assumptions and never talk about this overtly. And then it comes to pass that they have really different ideas about how they're supposed to operate when things get challenging. Someone's like, well, I think when things get challenging, we're just supposed to not talk about it. And then another person's like, no, I want to talk about it. I want to figure it out. I want to do this with you. So
back to the question of, do you want the same type of relationship? Mm-hmm. And this is so important. And by the way, way early on I can't remember what episode it was, but you can Google Jason Gaddis, 3 Types of Relationships or something like that. And I talk about the caring, carefree, careful, and caring types of relationships. Mm-hmm. Like if you want a caring relationship, which includes challenge and support and growth and development, and I want a carefree one, meaning I just want to have fun and like not a care in the world, we're misaligned, and that relationship is not going to make it.
That would be incompatible.
It's incompatible. You're incompatible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
even though you might have a lot of shared values.
Right. And a lot in common, a lot you align about in life, maybe even.
Yeah.
But if you really visualize a partnership that differently, you're going to be fighting about that, about how we're supposed to be with each other.
Yeah.
Who we are to each other.
Because you never agreed upon what you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
How are we going to operate this ship? You know, how are we going to drive this thing?
When things get challenging, what do we do? When forks are in the road, how do we navigate that? What's our role? What is our priority? What guides us?
Yeah. And so I always like to do analogies so we can think of other ways of being in other contexts. So like think of a sports team. Imagine, the best sports teams in the world being misaligned, right? The players were misaligned. Like the coach's job is to get the players aligned, and hopefully all the players want to share the metaphorical ball and win the game, right? And some people are like you don't join a world-class sports team and go, I just want to have fun.
Right.
If you're on a team with a bunch of people that want to win, you're going to be on the bench a lot.
Yeah.
Because you just wanted to have a good time. And they're like, no, I want to destroy the competition. So it's kind of like that, where what is your shared understanding of what you stand for?
Yeah.
Where are we going, and how are we going to operate this thing?
Yeah. Yeah. What's our vision?
Yeah.
For who we are, where we're going, and how we're going to do it.
And it's not enough to just say, well, we want the same things because we both want children. Again.
Or we both like to travel.
Yeah. That's more of a value, and it's not gonna be enough when things get hard. Mm-hmm. It's more of a way of being. It's like that's why I keep saying how we're going to operate this ship.
Yeah.
How we're going to operate is what are the terms of engagement here,
right,
when under stress, and also when we're in a good place. Mm-hmm. How when we're in a good place, should we double down and work on our relationship, or should that be a nice reprieve? And then when it gets hard, are we going to come together and attack the problem and the challenge and focus on it, get outside help, whatever we need to do to overcome it?
What's our way?
Yeah. So we're saying to review here, the most important question to ask yourself to determine if you're compatible with this person is, do we want the same type of relationship? And do we want to operate it in a, mutually supportive way through the ups and downs that are going to come.
Right. What's that going to look like? Oh, I remember what I was going to say.
Yeah.
It was that, another layer of this conversation is like knowing that maybe your vision is going to be hard to execute. Let's say like, oh, we want to be really supportive of each other, even under stress.
Okay.
But there's going to be times when actually I'm really annoyed with you and I just kind of want to go do my own thing and not like be here for you, let's say. And so sometimes these agreements or this shared vision helps you keep doing the thing that is going to get you further along than your maybe habits or automatic behaviors would do. So is that making sense?
That's
what I'm
great.
saying? That
Totally.
like we know that we are human and that we're not always going to behave in a way that is like our highest self.
Yeah.
But together, if we're like looking out for that for each other, it's like, hey, remember we agreed to, or wait, remember when things get hard, this is what we do. Those kinds of agreements really help us grow and develop and create the kind of relationship we want. Because under stress, we can all get a little wonky, or
blamey.
Someone might withdraw, let's say, or,
Want to break up.
avoid conflict.
Yeah.
We all have those tendencies. And, when we have a shared vision, it just helps us kind of, funnel our energy into a more productive place for the relationship, even though it's not easy to do. I think I just wanted to name that it's not like,
great.
oh, you figure out your vision and then you're like,
you're good.
Game on. It's like, no, this is something you're kind of living into over time and you're helping each other do because it benefits you as individuals. It benefits the relationship. It benefits really everyone around you to be to share space with a couple who is really looking out for each other and moving towards something that's meaningful to both of them.
Yeah. I so appreciate what you said there because it's under stress that all of our visions and our intentions are going to get tested.
Right. Or fear. Yeah.
Yeah.
It can take us out.
So that's why we're saying this is so important. Compatibility would mean, okay, when things get hard, I want a partner who's going to actually double down with me and batten down the hatches and like come together and say, okay, there's a big storm coming in. It's between us. How are we going to face this? I'm not going anywhere.
Right.
I love you. I care about you. I agreed to like stay in this even though my emotional self wants to hit eject or I want to blame you.
Right.
I'm going to stand in this hot fire and we're going to get through this together.
Yeah. We both want that.
Yeah.
So that's part of why we're here
Totally.
together.
Okay. So reflect on this. If you're single, you can reflect on your last relationship. If you're moving into a relationship, this might be a great conversation starter that you could have on your next tea date or after sex.
Maybe not
morning.
on like the first date.
Maybe not, but soon. And then if you've been married 20 years, this is still like,
Totally.
oh,
Maybe you've
see.
never really talked about this, and that would be really good to do.
It's time.
Yeah.
So your action step is it's time to talk about this with your partner. If you're partnered, if you're single, it's time to reflect.
Yeah.
And get clear on, what kind of relationship do I want to be in?
Which is different than what partner do I want.
That's right.
So,
really good distinction.
Yes.
Very different than what kind of partner do I want? What
kind of
partnership do I want to be in?
What kind of partnership do I want, and what would I need to do to create that? I like
Beautiful.
that too.
Yeah, great. Let's end on that note.
Okay.
All right, folks. Have a beautiful rest of your day, morning, evening. We'll talk soon. If you're in pain relationally and you need immediate support, our coaches can help you. I've trained almost 100 coaches at this point, relationship coaches that are amazing humans, and they have the chops to help you get through this hard time, this hard moment you're going through. Or if you want to actually hire a coach and have someone in your corner to continue to up-level your communication skills, your listening skills, your conflict skills, these folks are incredible, okay? So all you need to do is go to relationshipschool.com/MRC. That stands for My Relationship Coach. So relationshipschool.com/MRC. Right? If you want immediate, direct, effective help, check them out.
Hey, thanks so much for listening. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Share one of these videos with a friend. We want to help the planet get their act together around relationships. And you are one of them, so thank you.